Hi all and welcome back to the channel. This is HD's dad and this is another Raid Shadow Legends video. A little bit something different for you all today, but I'll get into that in a moment. First I want to mention, if you enjoy the content, please like and comment on the videos and subscribe to the channel. Try and help us out a little bit, try to grow this thing. We haven't been growing a whole lot this last few weeks, so we'd like to get those subscription numbers up a little bit. So now that's out of the way, I'm going to jump in here and we're going to take a look at the clan boss team that and I'm on the junior account. So this is the Ultimate Myth Air with the 3-to-1 speed tune for the DPS. I've been running this team on the account for quite some time. It's probably the account we put the most resources and time into. It's probably the team on the account that we put the most resources and time into building, and we've been running it for, many months. But something happened that made me have to revisit it, and that is I was working on the undead crypts, or attempting to, and the undead hordes, and I, without thinking about it, screwed up the speed tune by changing my seeker. Which, when I came in this morning and started to put in my keys, excuse me, you'll notice that the HGTV account, two keys in Ultra Nightmare, and three keys, not just because I needed some additional damage, but and to do some testing. But we spent gems on keys today, just to try to make sure that we had this thing figured out. And I'll show you in a minute. This speed tune is pretty sensitive, but when you put all that time and resources into it, you want to make sure that you don't change any of the components, because as you'll see in a minute, the difference of speed of one can throw the whole tune off, and it will not work at all. Well, I go and run this. You can see I've already got my keys in for Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, so I'm going to go ahead and run it on Brutal. Goodness, excuse me. It should be somewhere north, north of 100 million, if all goes to plan. So let's go ahead and run it. You can see it's Deacon, Demetha, Seeker, Newt's my DPS, and then Eris. Thus Demetha, right? Demetha and Eris. Alright, let's go ahead and kick it off. We'll just quick battle it. This is the beauty of this team. The junior account had a 1 key on Ultra Nightmare way before the main did, so we didn't get that on the main until with the Wixwell team that we built. So anyway, there you go, 108 million. And now I need to get in here, obviously, with the other account and and drop this guy. So that shouldn't be a problem. I am gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to spend gems to do that, but anyway, whatever. Okay, so that's the team. Let's talk about what happened. So, as I said, if any of you have been following along with the mission Lydia videos, which, judging by the number of views, you haven't, but we've been trying to go through and complete all the faction wars stages. You see, today we've got the 2 crypts that open. We got them complete. So that's. But anyway, man, I was working on the undead hordes and trying to. I'm pretty limited there, which I can actually kind of show that too. And so one of the things that I was going to try and do is make Seeker more of a nuke, which I really had done, but I changed his speed. Really, you can't change it much at all. I'll show you what the range is, at least with my setup. And So you can see, in terms of undead hordes, Seeker and UDK are my only two 60s. I really don't want to dump a bunch of resources into Elegaius or to, Crypt King or. I mean, Dark Lane will definitely at some point get a 6-star, and that'll probably actually have to happen before I can beat this. But you can see I don't have. I mean, yes, UDK is really good support, but there's no revives on this team, so just keeping them alive and not rebuilding them, it's kind of especially UDK and obviously now Seeker. Although I did try and rebuild him, I did rebuild, put new gear on Dark Lane, and make sure she was 100% crit rate and as much crit damage as get. I still would really like to get her more accuracy. If I had some feral gear, I could add 40. I guess I should look at that, but that's not what this video is about. Anyway, limited on the undead horde, so I was trying to work our way through because we're up to stage 21, and it would be really nice to go ahead and knock that out without having to 6-star somebody else. Anyway, back to the clan boss team. So if I jump over here to the browser and kind of walk you through when I discovered the error or the problem, kind of the steps I went through to resolve it. First stop was Deadwood Jedi's website, obviously for all things clan boss. There's no better resource than Deadwood Jedi's website. I have a free account there. I'm not paying for anything, but you can see you've got this is my team exactly, with my DPS being Newt. I am using Deacon as the speed lead. So you come down here and you see that Demetha, 288 to 302. I mean, these ranges aren't sometimes aren't exactly precise, so you just have to kind of play around and see what works for you. But the most important one here is, according to this, with Deacon, Seeker's good from 185 to 194, which should give her a true speed, or him a true speed of 205 to 214. We'll show you in a minute that, at least for my particular configuration, this is not true at all. It wouldn't have worked anyway, because I think I had Seeker up to a speed of I think it was 195, so it was outside of this range anyway. And truly didn't work at all. So that was the first stop. And then I popped open the calculator, and I put the speeds in for all of my champs, right? Deacon at 201. This says Seeker at 186, but actually, let me go back a step. So I got these, and then I went over to the Hell Hades optimizer, gear optimizer, and I put in a speed of, I think it was, I wanted to try the top of the range, right? So without going into the calculator, I went over here, put in a speed of 195, and then ran another key, and it was still busted. And I'm like, okay, well, lesson learned there. The next stop after looking at the kind of recipe here should have been the speed calculator. And you can see if I put in a 195, right, which is when I initially regeared, costing $500,000 gold or silver or whatever it was. So another kind of a waste of resources. You can see that the sort of turn chart is all over the map, right? Ideally, you want all this to look uniform so that you get to turn 50, clan boss turn 50, and you're unkillable, and you get killed at that point. So you can see with that speed of 195, all these other speeds are accurate. They're what I have, and this is the only one that changed. So I concentrated on this, but you may have a scenario where other speeds need to change as well. But in my case, it was all about Seeker. And so what I did is I just started ticking down, because I knew I had sped him up, so he needed to be slowed down a little bit. Down to 190, still no good. 188, no good. 187, no good. 86, no good. And then we get to 185. 185, with all the other settings, if you look here, we can go all the way down to turn 50. 49, I guess. You get Demytha with the block damage right before the AoE, right? All the way down. So that's what you're looking for these unkillable teams. You want to make sure that you are unkillable before each of the clan boss hits. And so 185 would work. In fact, that's what I went with, was 185. But I will also show you that as we drop down, 184 works, 183 works, 182 works, 181 works, but 180 does not fast enough. So again, in my particular setup, I could have gone from anywhere from 181 to 185, and then at 186 it busts again. So I went with 185, and I just showed you that the team did indeed work. But I do want to point out that, again, according to the Deadwood Jedi site, I should have a much wider range. In fact, it's 185 where I have it should be the bottom of the range, and in fact, in mine, it's the top of the range. So take that with a grain of salt. I think actually I know what might be going on there, though. This just occurred to me. It may actually be higher, because I think I'm going to bring up Seeker here. Oops, that's not where I want to go. I think his true speed's actually higher, because I think I have a total stats. Go over here. Demon Lord. Oh no, that's on the main that I have that. Okay, all right. So no, back to what I said. That's the cautionary tale of playing multiple accounts. You ever remember which is which? Oh, by the way, you weren't seeing what I was looking at, but let me pop over here and show you that if I select the area bonus for Demon Lord, let me look at speed. There's no area bonus for speed on this count. On the other count, I think I have like a +4 or something there. Yeah. So that's that. We'll go back to the browser. So yeah, absolutely invaluable resources. Both the Deadwood Jedi speed calculators and the sort of comp recipes. But he even talks about, there are wider ranges and alternative speeds for just one difficulty, right? So if you're only doing, Ultra Nightmare or whatever, you can probably figure whatever out, or if you're only doing Nightmare. But like I said, in my case, the only speeds that work for me are 181 through 185 inclusive. And so there you go. As I said, a cautionary tale. If you have a clan boss team that you've spent resources and time to set up, be very careful not to screw it up, because getting it unscrewed up, I'll be nice, is another use of resources that again, if you're free to play like me, every little bit counts. So I'll go ahead and leave it there. Like I said, it was a little bit different tonight, but I wanted to share that with you. Just hopefully, somebody out there can take advantage of me making that mistake that I did and not do the same thing themselves. So I'll go ahead and leave it there. Hope everyone has a great night, and I will talk to you soon.